choice. You can relieve the pain quickly and extend the damage, or you can contain the pain and shorten the recovery. Containment wins. Here's a rule you follow for the first year. No major life changes unless they increase stability, not excitement, not validation. Stability. If a decision adds chaos, you postpone it. That rule alone will save you years. You don't need their permission to delay decisions. You don't need approval to live quietly for a while. You don't need to announce your plans. Silence plus structure equals recovery. That's the key. Now let's talk about survival, because that word matters. Survival is not failure. Survival is strategy. You survive first so you can thrive later. The people who win after divorce are not the fastest movers. They are the most disciplined stabilizers. They resist the urge to prove. They resist the urge to escape. They resist the urge to impress. They build a floor. And once the floor is solid, growth becomes inevitable. Stability comes before growth. Say it one more time. This chapter is not glamorous. It's foundational. You don't rebuild a house while the ground is shifting. You don't redesign your life while your nervous system is fried. You stabilize. You survive correctly. And surviving correctly is not passive. It's active discipline, daily routines, limited decisions, clear boundaries. You are not falling behind. You are laying track. And track laid carefully supports speed later. That's the long game. So here's the final command of this chapter. Stop trying to become someone new. Start becoming someone stable. Lock the basics. Reduce chaos. Delay big moves. Survive the first year correctly. Because everything that comes next depends on this foundation. You stabilize the ground. Now we deal with the biggest threat to stability, your own emotions. You slow down. Next, you build systems that don't depend on how you feel. Chapter 2. Your emotions are lying. Build systems anyway. This chapter will save you months, maybe years, of unnecessary suffering. Because after divorce, your emotions are not advisors. They are weather, unstable, unpredictable, temporary. Say this clearly. Say it until it interrupts your impulses. Structure beats mood. Again, structure beats mood. After divorce, emotions swing hard and fast. One day you feel relieved. The next day you feel broken. One morning you feel hopeful. That night you feel empty. And if you wait to feel ready, you will stay stuck. That's the trap. You have a choice. You can obey your emotions, or you can outlive them. One keeps you reactive. The other makes you resilient. That's the key. Most people think they need motivation before action. That belief ruins them. Because in the first year after divorce, motivation is unreliable. Confidence is inconsistent. Clarity comes and goes. If you wait to feel stable before acting, stability never arrives. It's not about motivation. It's about discipline. Discipline moves when emotions can't. Let me give you a real example. A man divorces and tells himself, I'll get back to the gym when I feel better. Weeks pass, then months. He feels worse. Why? Because movement creates emotional regulation, not the other way around. Another example. A woman delays organizing her finances because it's overwhelming. She waits to feel calm. She never does. The anxiety grows because avoidance feeds fear. Clarity would have reduced the panic. Avoidance amplified it. That's the pattern. Structure beats mood. Say it again. Here's the truth no one tells you. Your emotions after divorce are distorted by shock. You lost routines. You lost identity. You lost predictability. Your nervous system is on high alert. So when you say, I don't feel like it, that's not wisdom. That's stress talking. And stress should never make decisions. You don't need their permission to act without motivation. You don't need inspiration to build structure. You don't need confidence to follow a routine. Confidence comes after consistency. That's the key. This chapter is about systems. Systems don't care how you feel. They run anyway. And when systems run, stability returns. Anchors. Not goals. Anchors. Anchors hold you in place when emotional waves hit. First anchor, sleep. Same bedtime. Same wake-up time. Even on weekends. Your brain heals during sleep. No sleep, no recovery. Second anchor, movement. Not extreme. Daily. Walk, lift, stretch. Your body processes stress through movement. No movement means emotional congestion. Third anchor, food. Simple, predictable, boring. You don't diet aggressively. You don't binge emotionally. You fuel consistently. Fourth anchor, money check-in. Once a week, same day, same time. Numbers don't judge you. They ground you. Avoidance creates panic. Clarity creates calm. Structure beats mood. Say it again. Now, let's talk about routine resistance. You will hate routine at first. Your emotions will rebel. They'll say, "This is pointless. This isn't helping. I deserve a break." That voice is not truth. It's withdrawal. You are withdrawing from chaos. Chaos is addictive. Structure feels dull because chaos is loud. But dull is stable. And stable is powerful. You have a choice. You can chase emotional relief. Or you can build emotional regulation. Relief fades. Regulation compounds. That's the key. Let's address the excuse of readiness. I'm not ready yet. Ready for what? Life doesn't pause until you feel prepared. Readiness is built through repetition. You don't feel ready, then act. You act until you become ready. That's how adults recover. It's not about readiness. It's about repetition. Now, let's talk about decision-making. In the first year after divorce, you reduce decisions. Decision fatigue. Choices you make emotionally, the worse they get. So you automate. Same breakfast, same gym time, same work block. Automation conserves mental energy. Mental energy is scarce right now. Spend it wisely. You don't need their permission to simplify your life. You don't need approval to live predictably. You don't need to explain why you're boring for a while. Boring is healing. Now let's look at the people who stay stuck. They say things like, "I'm just not in the right headspace. I need to process first. I'll start next week." Weeks turn into months. Months turn into years. Not because they're weak, because they're waiting for feelings to cooperate. Feelings don't cooperate. Systems don't negotiate. That's the difference. Another example. A person commits to walking every morning at 7 a.m. No exceptions. Some days feel good. Some days feel heavy. They walk anyway. After 60 days, their emotional baseline shifts. Not because life improved, because regulation improved. That's how systems work. Structure beats mood. Say it again. Now here's the deeper truth. Structure restores self-trust. Every time you keep a routine despite not feeling like it, you send yourself a message. I can rely on me. Self-trust is the foundation of recovery. Without it, you seek reassurance from outside. With it, you stabilize internally. And divorce destroys self-trust before anything else. You rebuild it through small, kept promises, not big declarations. Small, daily, boring. That's the key. This chapter is not about becoming productive. It's about becoming predictable to yourself. Predictability creates safety. Safety allows healing. Now here's the final discipline of this chapter. You stop asking, "How do I feel today?" You start asking, "What's scheduled?" Schedule beats emotion. You don't negotiate with your mood. You follow the plan. And when emotions settle, as they always do, you'll realize something powerful. You need to feel better to act. You need to act to feel better. That's the reversal. That's the truth. You have a choice. You can let emotions run your life, or you can build systems that carry you through them. One keeps you unstable. The other restores control. Structure beats mood. Say it one last time. You built anchors. You removed emotion from execution. Now it's time to confront the most dangerous source of instability after divorce. The one people avoid until it explodes. You stabilize your routines. Next, you face the numbers. Chapter 3. Money shock is inevitable. Avoidance makes it fatal. This chapter is where most people panic. Not because money is everything, but because money removes illusions fast. Divorce exposes financial reality brutally. No buffer, no shared load, no hiding. Say this clearly. Say it until your chest loosens. Clarity kills panic. Again, clarity kills panic. The shock is inevitable. 2 households instead of 1. Legal costs. Support payments. Lifestyle shrinkage. What's optional is how much damage it does. You have a choice. You can face the numbers early and regain control, or you can avoid them and let fear run your life. One hurts briefly. The other bleeds you slowly. That's the key. Most people choose avoidance. They don't open statements. They guess instead of calculate. They tell themselves, I'll deal with it later. Later becomes louder, scarier, more expensive. Avoidance turns uncertainty into terror. Numbers don't cause panic. Imagination does. Clarity kills panic. Say it again. Let me give you a real example. A man divorces and refuses to look at his finances for 6 months. He keeps spending like before. He tells himself things will even out. They don't. By the time he looks, the damage is deep. Debt, stress, sleepless nights. Now compare that to someone else. A woman sits down 2 weeks after divorce. She lists income, expenses, debts. It's ugly, but it's real. She cuts fast, downsizes, simplifies. Her life gets quieter. Her anxiety drops. Why? Because control returned. That's the difference. It's not about how much you have. It's about how clearly you see it. That's the key. Money shock is not about poverty. It's about loss of control. And control is restored through discipline. This chapter is not about getting rich. It's about getting calm. Calm requires clarity. So here's the command. You stop guessing. You stop hoping. You start calculating. You write down every number. Income, fixed expenses, variable expenses, debts, no rounding, no optimism, reality only. You don't need their permission to look at your finances. You don't need courage to face numbers. You don't need confidence to open a spreadsheet. You need honesty. That's it. Clarity kills panic. Say it again. Now, let's address the emotional resistance. Money triggers shame, fear, comparison. You may feel stupid. You may feel angry. You may feel behind. None of that matters. Shame does not improve finances. Discipline does. It's not about guilt. It's about governance. Governance means rules. Rules for spending. Rules for saving. Rules for saying no. And saying no is essential right now. Here's the discipline. You cut aggressively in the first year. Not forever. Temporarily. You downsize your lifestyle to stabilize your nervous system. Smaller place. Fewer subscriptions. Simpler habits. This is not punishment. This is containment. Containment creates breathing room. Breathing room creates choices. That's the chain. People who refuse to downsize stay trapped. People who simplify recover faster. That's reality. You have a choice. You can protect your ego, or you can protect your future. One costs more than money. Now let's talk about budgeting without romance. A budget is not restriction. It's visibility. Visibility removes fear. When you know where money goes, panic drops. So you build a simple budget. Needs first. Housing, food, transportation, then obligations, support, debt, then a small buffer. No fantasy, no projections. Just now. It's not about abundance. It's about accuracy. Accuracy brings calm. Calm brings better decisions. Now, let's talk about spending behavior after divorce. Many people spend emotionally. They buy relief, comfort, validation, shopping, trips, eating out. It feels good for a moment. Then the anxiety doubles because the bill arrives.